For my extra credit project today, I'm going to be talking about the intermagnetary and musculoskeletal and nervous system. I'm not going to be going in depth into every single thing, but I will be talking about it for a little bit. I am interested in this topic a lot, so it is something I wanted to talk about. And this is for my pathophysiology extra credit. So this is the integumentary system. So this is the organ system consisting of skin and its appendages, which is what I will be talking about in the upcoming slides. So these are the different layers of the skin, and skin has three layers. It's the epidermis, dermis, and the hypodermis. So as you can see on this photo, it shows you all the different layers. And I remember I spoke about skin cancer and how bad it can be, so I definitely wanted to go more in depth about more of the intergumentary system, which I have trouble saying. I apologize, but these are the different layers of the skin, and you can see all the blood vessels, the hair follicles, sweat glands, and all that other good stuff. So what exactly is in the epidermis? So this is the outside layer of the skin, which is responsible for making new skin cells, creating skin tone, and protecting your body. So if you were to touch your skin right now, that outside covering the inside and the other layers of the skin is called the epidermis. The layer under the epidermis is the dermis, which is the middle layer of the skin, which is beneath the epidermis and contains tough connective tissue. It's in charge of making sweat, containing sweat glands, makes you feel things, so it has all the nerve endings, grows hair and contains hair follicles, and it makes oils for your skin, so when you get oily. It brings blood to your skin and contains lots of blood vessels, so that's where most of the things are starting to happen. If people have damage to their dermis, they have trouble feeling things, so I mean, it's good not to feel pain, but it is there for a reason. And next is the hypodermis, which is below that. It's in the deeper subcutaneous fat layer, which is made of fat and connective tissue. They play an important role by helping abundant blood vessels supply nutrients and waste disposal. They help with temperature regulation and help insulate the body, and they are also shock absorbers. There's also fat and water storage on the hypodermis, and it attaches the skin to the tissues below the muscle, but bone in some places as well. So I talked about the skin, but what exactly is the intermagnetary system? So it is composed of skin and appendages in order to protect from various kinds of damage from the outside environment. This includes anything from hair, skin, and nails. So I will not only be talking about skin like I did last time, I will be talking about other things. So hooves and feathers are a part of the intergumentary system for animals. Obviously humans are different, but yet similar. I'm sure a lot of people have never thought about this, but hair actually protects us from a lot of things. So we don't mean hair on our head, we can mean hair in our nose, or eyelashes, or hair on our skin. Hair on our eyelashes protects particles from getting into our eyes and harming them. And eyebrows and eyelashes actually protect from the amount of sunlight that's getting into our eyes. So eyebrows actually play a huge role. Fine hair from our bodies helps our body keep warm. I know through evolution we have less and less hair, but it has still helped us keep warm. And hair in our nose keeps dust and microorganisms away from the inside of our noses. So make sure you don't trim all that nose hair. So back to the skin. So it protects us for the insides of our bodies and covers them. When we get cuts on our bodies, they heal up and protect us. Skin does need to be protected from the sun, though, because it can lead to skin cancer, which I spoke about in my last project. So obviously, the darker our skin, the harder it is for us to get a sunburn, but just because you have dark skin, it doesn't mean you should not wear sunscreen. So what do our nails protect us from? So the hard tips of our fingernails help protect our toes and fingers. Nails are made out of keratin, the same substance that your hair is made out of, and if you actually lose a nail, it can help, it can take up to 3 to 6 months for it to fully grow back. So keep that in mind before dropping anything by accident. And how long it's going to take to heal. I've also heard, and I'm not too sure if this is true, but it helps us with balance. So since our hair protects us, how do we protect ourselves? So there are oils in our hair that keep our hair sort of in tip-top shape. So making sure that that oil is distributed and not taking out all that oil all the time. is important. So not washing your hair every day is not essential as much as a lot of people may think it is. Combing our hair is also very important to keep the oils distributed as well. So how can skin damage happen? So burns, dog bites, sun exposure, and smoking can actually affect our skin quite a bit. This can also be from secondhand smoke, keep that in mind. It's also important that I'm going back and forth on these so you can kind of have an idea of where the intergumentary system is. So this is why I'm jumping back and forth from skin to hair to nails so you can not forget. So in this activity, I want you to think, before you even read the caption, which one of these people is a smoker and how can you tell? So believe it or not, these two people are twins. They're both smokers, but the twin on the left has been smoking 17 years longer than the identical sister. So they are both smokers. That was a trick question. But look at the difference in 17 years. That's insane. Look at what things do you notice that are different without reading my little caption there? Now, which one of these do you think is a smoker? I'm going to give you a second to think about it. Number 2 is actually the smoker, and you can see the clear fine lines of wrinkles on his face. You can see on his forehead, they're just more defined. They're twins, but they do look very similar, but the harder you look, the more you notice how much smoking really does affect your facial features and affects a lot of the inside of your body as well. So I wanted to add a little bit of myself in this video and talk about a little bit more about the intergumentary system, which I know I'm saying completely wrong, but I chose to talk a little bit about that because I think a lot of us don't really know what it is exactly. So I decided to add a lot of these photos of smokers and non-smokers because I think skin, as I spoke about in my past project, being very important to us, and protecting ourselves from the sun, which is something we can easily do by wearing a hat or wearing sunscreen and not staying out in the sun for too long, and staying under a beach umbrella, or even during sunny days, which is in a lot of like Asian culture, they use an umbrella in the sun to protect their skin, and that's why they look younger and they always carry their umbrella, and that helps quite a bit. So smoking affects obviously the insides of our bodies quite a bit, just like how skin damages. If you smoke more, you're more likely to look older at a younger age. So it's very important that you try and stay away from secondhand smoke. I tried my best to do that. There's always people smoking outside, or now I guess everybody's vaping, which that's a whole other story. But smoking has always been bad. It's always been a popular thing back in the days. But I think after all this research and all this information, obviously some people are trying to stop using like nicotine patches or anything else. But obviously some people can't stop. It's hard. It's an addiction. So there's not much we can do about that. But the best thing we can do is try to stop smoking if you smoke. Stay away from secondhand smoke when you can, because you can definitely see all the damages that it does cause to that human body. It's crazy how two twins can look so different. I also wanted to come here and say thank you so much for watching my video. It wasn't the full 15 minutes length because I was having trouble adding certain parts from my slides to this iMovie. I don't know why it was doing that, but I just wanted to still share my part, especially since this is an online course. I'd like to interact more with a lot of people because it is the end of the term, and I want to thank you guys all for watching this. If you have questions, let me know. I know I didn't go too much into depth about every single thing, but I hope those photos helped you out quite a bit understanding about smokers versus non-smokers. Thank you so much, and I'm really enjoying this course, and I can't wait for the final upcoming, in 2 weeks, I think. 2 weeks. Bye.